Well, hi, and welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. Do you know that saying, you can't understand someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes? Very often, the people we feel closest to are people whose lives most closely resemble our own. We understand them because we share an understanding of that world around us. Today, and over the next few soundbites, I want to tell you about different events in Jesus' life. I believe Jesus was both God and human at the same time. That's really important for a whole bunch of reasons, but just for a moment, what do you think it would be like as the creator of the whole world to go into the thing that you created? Now that's a bit deep. So how about this? Did you ever play with Lego? Maybe you'd make houses or cars. Maybe you'd make a whole street out of Lego. Imagine that's what you've done. And then imagine you could shrink down and go into that street, not just for a few minutes of play, but actually live there with everything that you'd built, even with the Lego people that you'd put in there. And not as you are now, but as a Lego person yourself, living with them, understanding what it means to be alive with them. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit silly because they don't actually live, only in our imaginations. But you get the idea. You become a part of what you created. I wonder what comes to your mind when you think of Jesus. Maybe nothing. Maybe this is the first time anyone's told you anything about him. So let me tell you a little bit about him. What did he do? Well, Jesus got hungry. No, I don't mean he was a little bit late for his dinner one night. There was a time when Jesus spent 40 days on his own, praying and fasting, before he started going around the country to spread his message. During that time, he was tempted to take some stones and turn them into bread. I'll tell you another time about some of the amazing things that Jesus was able to do. Miracles, we call them. It would certainly have been very straightforward for him at that time to have made that happen, to turn those stones to bread. Another time, he had some huge jars of water and he turned them into the finest wine. So actually taking a few stones and turning them into bread? Very easy. What was important that time though was that he didn't do it. And the lesson about that was to trust in God to provide everything that you need. And that's what the early part of the Bible says. Jesus had times when he had to make choices. That's one example where he chose not to go against the things that God wanted. Now I mentioned that wine. That was at a wedding. Mary was at the wedding, Mary his mother, and Jesus was along there as well with some of his friends. And at that time, in that culture, if the wine ran out at your wedding, it wasn't just a slight embarrassment, it was a huge disgrace. And actually it would stay with that couple for the rest of their lives, and it would ruin a huge amount. It would ruin their standing where they lived. They would be nothing. It was really bad. It was the worst. And it happened at this wedding. And there was nothing left for anyone to drink. Now Mary knew that her son could help. So she asked him and told the staff to do whatever he said. And they ended up with so much of the finest wine anyone had ever tasted. It was amazing. And Jesus not only enjoyed that party, but he saved that couple from disgrace. Jesus lived a very real life here on earth. He was a refugee by the age of 2. He went through times when he had absolutely nothing and times when he had a great time. He learned to be a carpenter. He would go on to spread a message that would change the world. More about that in the weeks to come. It's just mind-blowing for me that the one who created everything would put himself inside that creation and experience everything there was to experience about life. Every high and every low. Do get in touch if you've got any questions. I'd love to help you explore what those answers might be. For now, let me just wish you a great week ahead. God bless you.